So, as you can probably see, George isn't here today. He's unable to attend, so I'll be taking over race director role. I'll just briefly go over the session info for Barcelona today. So obviously you've got your 80 minutes of practice, then your 30 minutes of open qualifying, your 10-minute warm-up, and then your 1-hour race. As usual, it's been streamed on our YouTube channel. If you have any friends or family that would like to watch this, please share this around. Today we'll be providing live stewarding. This means penalties such as drive-throughs, as well as post-race penalties will be issued out. Full course cautions can and will be awarded or thrown if needed. We'll only there we go. So you'll be given one fast repair. Please use that where required or needed. You will automatically receive a drive-through penalty when you reach 18 incident points and every 5 incident points thereafter. Having the race control radio channel enabled in iRacing is required, as this is used for communication, but can I please ask that drivers only use this channel if they are reporting an incident to myself and the stewards, or using it to communicate with drivers if they are coming in or out of the pit lane. If you have an incident with a driver, please try not to discuss this over the race channel in iRacing. We'll note any incidents that are investigated through the race control channel as an announcement. Any outcomes will also be announced there as well. If it's not mentioned, you can ask the stewards to investigate this through voice chat only once. Please note your cart number and the lap number of the incident as you do so. I think that should be it for the general stuff. So, as of track rules, drivers are asked to not go slow through turns 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, turns 14 and 15, which is the final chicane. So really, any part of the last sector, just try not to go slow or impede anyone. Slower cars cannot overtake after the back straight, so this is after turn 9 over the crest down to turn 10. You may reset to pit lane on the straights, but please make sure this is off the racing line. So down the front main straight, please ensure you're on the right hand side, out the way of any other drivers before you do so. And then the back straight down towards the end of it, pull to the left hand side if you are going to do this. If any of those people who are new here, who have joined us for this round onwards, the fuel of the car is limited to 45% of the total fuel. So this will ensure 2 pit stops, so make sure you keep an eye on that. I think today we only have a grid of around 18 or 19 drivers enjoying a 1-hour race. Blue flags are going to happen. So make sure if you are a lap down, make sure you get out of the way safely. But drivers overtaking lap cars, make sure this is a safe overtake and not a rash one, please. And lap cars, if you have a car that's already a lap up on you coming out the pit lane, could you make sure that they are given priority and you do not challenge them for an overtake? Only penalties will be announced over the voice chat. Investigations will be announced over messages. And I think lastly, multiple impeding penalties in qualifying will now mean you start from the pit lane. So I think that's it from me. Do we have any questions at all from the drivers? No? Okay, so during qualifying, can we make sure if you are coming out of the pit lane, just make sure you're not impeding anyone? as you enter the racing line on track. I hope that answered that, Jose. Do we have any more questions? A long pit entry, I assume if it is safe enough and iRacing doesn't allow it to be an unsafe pit entry, then yes, just be careful when doing so. Any more questions at all? No. Okay, I hope you guys have a great race.
Good evening and welcome to the anti-stall racing GT3's round 3 live from Catalonia in Barcelona. Now we are here with this absolutely amazing circuit, guys, located just outside of Barcelona, built in 1991 and took over the Spanish Grand Prix that same very year. Current track length is 4.57 kilometers on the full course here. And with 16 turns, guys, it's going to be an absolutely epic race. Now, this circuit is absolutely incredible for me as a commentator because it's only got 3 corner names that I have to remember. And that, for me, pleases me. So we've got turn 4 as Repsol, turn 13 as the Europe Car Corner, which is a little bit bizarre. Turn 14 is the RACC before he goes into 15 and 16. So apart from that, everything else has got numbers. Now, absolutely incredible race last week. And if you have missed it, please go back and have a look. It was from Suzuka and it was absolutely incredible where Akira Iwata took the victory from Gitano Volcano. Now, it was going to be a lot closer than that with Alessandro Izzo in the fight right up until the last couple of laps where he got a drive-through penalty that put him down into third place. Now, shortly, I'm going to be joined in the booth by Mr. Wesley, who's going to be joining me again this evening. But let's give you a quick run-through of the format for tonight's race, okay? So we're going to be starting off. We're coming to the end of practice. We've got about 3 minutes remaining. Then we're going into a 30-minute qualifying. This will be qualifying for everyone, okay? So 30 minutes, done. 10-minute warm-up, and then we're going into a 1-hour race. Now, the guys are going to be starting with 45% fuel. They will need to make 2 pit stops. So that's going to bring in to consideration a strategy about what they're going to do. Now, we have got last week's standings, which we will produce on screen for you shortly, and I will guide you through them currently. Alessandro Izzo is on 110 points. Gitano Volcano on 107. Akira Iwata. Now, I haven't seen Akira tonight, and currently he's not in the race session. So Akira may have not been able to make this, and he's on 92. Marcus Schum is on 83. Mikel Pletel on 80. Paul Taylor on 72. Massimo Berti is on 70. He's down in 7th. Jorge Gomez on 62. Thomas Sainton on 55. Marco Pinto on 54. Elias Stromer on 46. Marco Ferroni on 42. He's tied with Lorenzo Bazzanti. Justin Klassen's 41. Now, he was literally the man of the hour that we were talking about last week in Suzuka. He was stuck behind cars and he was trying to get through, and me and Wes were sat here going, please, 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 take him, Justin, take him, you're clearly quicker. Chilled out. I think he finished down in 6th place. Gizeki is on 36 points. Manuel Polanco is on 36. Miguel Cordero on 34. Mirko Galoni on 30 points currently at the moment. Sebastian van Den, he is from the Netherlands. He is on 28 points. So there you go. That rounds out our top 20. Now, just see if there's any more after that before we carry on. So there you go. So I tell you what we'll do. Let's bring Wes into the booth. Wes, welcome in.
Hello, hello.
Hello, man. How you doing?
Oh, good. I'm excited for this one. I had a great time last week. It went down to the wire. Action all the way. I think we could have the same today.
Yeah, very unlucky from Izzo. Now, we thought we were going to get the Akira Iwata battle and Izzo battle on the last lap, didn't we? And then Izzo went and got a drive-through. Now, that, of course, allowed Akira to go on to the win. But it was so unlucky from Izzo. The guys were battling backwards and forwards all the way through. I think at one point, you even mentioned that they were inside each other coming out of the pit lane. It was just such a... It was kind of almost like a build-up. The way I would put it is almost like a carrot but never feeding a donkey. It was so close, and then all of a sudden, Izzo's drive-through kind of, I think somebody put in chat, robbed us, Webs.
Yes.
It was an amazing finish.
Fully robbed us, yeah. They were absolutely neck and neck for the whole race, and in the pit stops, they came out at the exact same time inside each other. We all thought it was going to be close, and then the second pit stop came around, and sadly, Izzo got collected by a lapped car, and then got a drive-through, and it completely robbed us of a battle for the win.
Yeah, but now we're here. We're at Catalonia. Now, this is I don't know how to put this. Wes, I think some people would call it Marmite, wouldn't they? Because it's not a circuit that everybody loves. Now, I'm personally not a fan unless I'm in an open wheeler. I wouldn't go round in a GT3 car thinking I know I'm going to jump into a time session at Catalonia. What's your opinion of this circuit?
I feel like it massively depends on the car you're using, because it's a Formula car, probably not the best. Doesn't, especially a Formula One car these days, it's not going to work for you. Then you can't do close racing here. But like a touring car or a GT car, track actually flows pretty well, and there is places with heavy braking, and you can make a move. So I think the racing in GT cars will be better than in, say, a Formula car or the Formula Ones. Maybe even Formula 4 will be okay, but higher category you go, the harder it is for the passing here. But yeah, I like the circuit to drive. It is quite a boring one. It flows nicely, but it's quite medium speed, slow corners. Yes, you have the fast right-hander, but that's, you know, that's one corner. The rest of them sort of drag on a bit.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's only got one real main straight that you know, to be fair, where the cars can use that draft. Now, obviously, we've got the mixture of Ferraris, the Porsches, the Audis, the BMWs, and the Lambos. We have got a sole Ford of Austin William Campbell, which is absolutely amazing to see. But, you know, from a car perspective, you know, where would you rather be, Wes? Would you rather be in a BM for this sort of track, or would you rather be in a Ford? Because it's kind of a difficult one with only that one straight. Are you going to take handling over top speed? It's a bit of a weird one.
For this track, well, my two picks here are Beamers and the Ferraris, but there's a lot. It's still got 16 corners. Yes, long straight's quite. I think a Beamer wouldn't be too bad here. I think I'd take that straight line. It would. It's not too difficult of a circuit for the corners, so I think a Beamer should do well. I don't. There's a lot of Ferraris. I think the Porsche will be very good in the mid sector, with all the tight corners.
That's the thing. It's kind of got that track layout that kind of suits all cars over different parts of the circuit. You know what I mean? As you say, Beamer should be good. The Porsche should be good in the midsection. Beamer stronger down the straight and the fast corners. It's going to bring a good mix tonight, and I'm going to be interested to see how this turns out. I think we're going to be in for an absolute classic, and you know, let's hope Izzo doesn't get a drive-through. But then again, as I say, we've got Volcano here, but we don't have a WADA, so that unfortunately is a little bit of a shame in round 3.
Yeah, the thing to note from the first 2 rounds is that Izzo and Volcano have both been on the podium in both rounds, so they're the 100% record so far. So, third of whoever is joining them in the top 3 does seem to change. So we'll see. And plus, Volcano hasn't won yet, actually. So see if this is his week to pick up his first victory. With Akira not being here.
So go on then, sticking your neck out. Who'd you pick for the race? We're only 3 minutes in quali and no times are up yet, so you can't pick the lead.
Yeah, I can't pick. I didn't really see the times in qualifying either, so maybe one to look out for is probably this car number 29. I noticed he's been pretty quick and done well in race 1 and 2, I believe. If I notes up, he is up there in 4th in the championship. Yeah, got 3rd in race 1, and he is part of the same team as Volcano, so I do think the car is there. He's in a Ferrari, it should work well. He's probably one to look out for. He is currently top at the moment of the 5 cars, but yeah, he's one of those which I think a podium is definitely possible there.
Yeah, I think so too, and we're looking round about 143s for pole. You see currently we've got a 143.96. Now that's from Marcus Schulm. We were just talking about him there with Wes. Izzo is in 2nd. Now, if I had to pick, I do like Pesanti. I think Pesanti's got something. He was 3rd last week. Bit unlucky. I think he could be there or thereabouts, I think, this week. You know, saying that as we talk, Thomas Santon has just put it on pole with a 143.38. So we might hit low 43s, 42. So that would be interesting. But, yeah, I think Pesanti is kind of, he's going to come out and he's going to go and, you know, go and get a victory. I'm just hoping he does a good quali and gets kind of up to near the front. That will allow him to sort of really push on and get the victory. So, yeah, my shout's going to be Lorenzo Bazzanti. And you know what, Wes, as well? We picked both of them drivers, and if both of them crash out, you know we'll get the blame for it for the famous commentator's curse, right?
Yeah, we mentioned their name, so it'll be our fault. I'm sure we did say somebody's name the other day, and they went straight off as soon as we mentioned it, as he actually does go full off to the side. So that is definitely a curse, and it does exist, sadly. But I don't know what that was there. I just saw flying off. But yeah, hopefully we have, I believe, also picked cars from within the same team there. So
Ooh, okay. Well, maybe they're set up, Jerry. So you never know. We might be able to see what they can do. See if we can get a Sean Bazzanti 1-2. Doesn't matter which way round, because both of us commentators will be right, which is always good to hear.
it'd be right for once. That'd be nice.
Yeah, rather than that. And you know, going back to that commentator's curse, I do find it a little bit of a weird one. I think it's just, I don't know. I find it weird that we're not actually in the car, but we do mention their names, and then next thing you know, they're going round or they're involved in an incident. It's just very bizarre how that works to me, and I don't like being the blame, but as you say, we will get the blame.
Yeah, like they can hear us, isn't it? It's very... I always find that fascinating that we say a name of a driver and then they have an incident or we're on board with them and they just crash immediately. It is very, very weird that that happens, but it's almost like the drivers have this... It's just timing, isn't it? It's sixth sense timing.
You reckon, or do you reckon it's that fear of, oh my God, I might be on the broadcast, so therefore I'm going to stuck it in a wall?
I've had that before, where I thought, oh, I'm in a battle with someone, I might be being watched. And I've thought about it before, and it can be a little bit of pressure sometimes, especially if you're not used to it.
So you reckon, well, I'll tell you what then, Wes, what we'll do is instead of blaming us for cursing somebody, we'll put it down to that.
Yeah.
We put it down that they might be in the broadcast and they thought about it, and that's why it happens. So there you go, guys. If you are here for the first time, please hit that subscribe button on the Anti-Stall Racing YouTube channel. That would be absolutely incredible. Turn on them bells for notifications, guys, so you'll be first up to date every time we go live with a new racing from the leagues that are currently happening at the moment. And don't forget, hit the thumbs up button. That is the most important one. If you are here, sat in here watching the broadcast, please hit the thumbs up. That will be absolutely amazing. Now we're coming in to about just under 22 minutes of qualifying. Couple of people, as we're sitting on about, some of them have done about 2.5 laps. So they're literally going out lap, fast lap, in. Is that something that you would do, Wes? Because I kind of have a tendency in longer qualifying to kind of run a little bit longer so I can get a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, I enjoy just running laps. Yeah, as my iRacing decides to only now start doing the trading paints for everybody. So if you see it jittering, that is just training paints, trying to find the right paints for everybody. Yeah, in ACC I used to, when there was like a 20-minute qualifying, I'd just go out. I'd do 2 stints of like I think 5 laps or whatever, and I'd just keep going until I ran out of fuel. But I'd put it in for at least a few laps because I'm not just doing one and coming in. I'm doing a few. I want to get. I feel like. If you give yourself another option, you can do a good lap, and then you see what you did wrong, and then you can just improve on the next one, do better. And I think it's better than just doing one shot, coming in, and then going out again.
Yeah, I don't think I can. I'm in the same boat as you. I don't think I can cope with the coming out the pits on new tyres, having to trickle around the out lap, and then going again. I'd rather go once, settle down, as you say, see what you do wrong, and then go again for another couple of laps, like at full pace. And you know. That works for me, and clearly, obviously, it works for you as well. But some of these drivers do seem to be going in and back out again. Nobody has really done past 4 laps at the moment. Marco Grigic is currently on 3.63 laps, so he's halfway round the circuit for us. So he's currently, that's it. But that's about the highest. Now, we haven't got any... We've got a couple that haven't qualified at the moment. Benny Fage, Marco Galoni, and Francisco Javier Garrido have not stuck a lap in yet either. Volcano hasn't got a lap on the board, and Bazzanti hasn't got a lap either. Wow, let's hope they do before the end. You know, they've still got 20 minutes remaining, so I'm sure they will put a lap in. Now, Wes, we've got some great action coming up here on Anti-Stall Racing. Why don't you tell us about what they've got coming up and when it's all happening?
Well, on Mondays we have the Formula One League in the current, last year's Mercedes, which is the W11 series. It's on Monday nights, I believe 7 o'clock. I believe there is an hour race there, same somewhat format as the GT3 race today. And then on Tuesday nights, as the feeder series leagues, you have the Formula 4 and Formula 3 series, which is 2 races each. So 4 races throughout the night on Tuesday nights. It starts at 6:30 for the practice session for the Formula 4s. They got first. We watched them do 2 50-minute races, which are absolutely amazing. All action-packed they are. Currently 4 different winners from 4 in the Formula 4 series. And then the Formula 3 series afterwards follows with 2 races of 20 minutes as well. And all different drivers as well. Similar circuits as well to the Formula 1 season. Like this, for example, this week coming, it is the last races of March at the Hockenheim Ring for Formula 3 and Formula 4 on Tuesday, and they are amazing races. Benny Fiji, actually, that's in this race today, has currently dominated the Formula 3 series by getting both pole positions and all 4 race wins so far. They also do have reversed grids in race 2. The top 8 get reversed, almost like a bit of British touring cars. Really just spice the race up, and it really did in Spa for Formula 3 as we watch one of the cars spin around. I think it was Basanti. Yeah.
It's not doing too well
He's
when our
not had
commentators pick me.
He's not had a good time so far there in qualifying. It's not going all his way. But yeah, it was fantastic. Formula 3 had a big crash, I must admit, at Turn 1 at Spa this week. And I mean, lots and lots of crashes there. Like 4 or 5 different things happened. But the actual race, once they all sorted themselves out, was absolutely fantastic, as well as Formula 4 is crazy. There's about 30 cars, I think, Formula 4, and around 20 in Formula 3, and they are brilliant to watch on Tuesday night. You get 4 races worth of action from Formula cars and reverse grids. It is absolutely brilliant, and the championship is quite close. And yeah, the last race of March is at Hockenheim Ring on Tuesdays.
Nice, well that should be fun then. That allows the drivers to get, obviously, up into the W12 F1 league, doesn't it?
Yes, so I think the top 6 from Formula 3 will move up to the W12, and the Formula 4, I think it's top 6 as well, and bottom 6, I think, get relegated. Almost like a Premier League style, but it was 6 instead of 3 teams. So it's almost taking it from football, but it does work pretty well there. So
nice. We've just seen Gaetano Volcano put it on pole on a 1:43.37. 1,000th of a second faster than Thomas Sainton. That is absolutely incredible from Volcano there. So the current top 10, as you can see on your left-hand side, as we see, I think that's probably Basanti coming back on track. He's not having a good qualifying. My pick is not doing too well, but you can see the top 10 on the left-hand side goes. Volcano is in pole currently. Santon in second, Marcus Schum in third, Fonseca in fourth, Izzo down in fifth place. Klassen's in 6th, Taylor in 7th, Stromer 8th, Berda in 9th, Ferroni in 10th, Pletil in 11th, Campbell in 12th, Gomez in 13th, Pinto 14th, Pereira 15th, Amaro 16th, Fava 17th, Grigic 18th, and Kopp in 19th place. Basanti is not looking too tidy at the moment.
He's getting some slipstream, knows what's happening here. Volcano's actually... What they've done there is they've worked out to give Basanti some slipstream down the back straight there, and now for the rest of the lap he's going to follow him around and get a bit of slipstream. So that's good team tactics and helping out your teammate there, I think, from our current pole sitter, which is only 200th of a second. So as always, it always seems to be the case in anti-stall racing lately. The past couple of weeks, qualifying in every series has been ridiculously close, and some of these tracks have been quite long ones as well. So they've been. It just amazes me every time.
It should be again a close one, as we see Volcano up there sitting in front of Basanti, I believe. Oh, I have to see if he got away with that one. See if he registers the time at the end of the lap. Now we know how tight iRacing off tracks are. That looked close, Wes, didn't it?
Yeah, it looked very close there.
You know, down into turns 7 and 8, it was looking very dodgy. And on the exit of 9 as well, he did look like he'd come a bit wide.
Yeah, he did. He caught the gravel, didn't he?
Yeah, so it'd be interested to see if he can get that as a... I don't know. They think that... Oh, as we see car number 7. Yeah, car number 7, they're going off on as well in the BMW. Let's see, Basanti's back in the pits again. So clearly it's not working out for him. Yeah, Hugo Miguel Pereira, 17. It was not 7. I was wondering why I didn't see a 7 on my timing screen. That's because it's not even the right number.
Yeah, I looked for the closest thing possible to that.
Yeah. But there you go, guys. We're coming down now. We've got about just under 15 minutes. Now, on this Catalonia circuit, do you think that generally, though, most of the overtakes are going to be happening down the start-finish straight? Because that's really, unless somebody does an error, runs wide in turn 3 or runs deep into the chicane, into the hairpin at 5 and 10, there's not really much else opportunity, is there? Because it's pretty much line astern throughout this circuit.
Turns 1 or 4, I think, the Hamilton-Rosberg corner. Could always, if you're close enough, could throw a dive there maybe. You can't really throw a dive in the chicane. It's too tight, I'd say, in these GT cars. So yeah, and maybe the straight, corner number 10 maybe, if we're lucky, and someone's had a bad run out of the 9 quick right-hander, that maybe there's a run there. But yeah, other than that, mostly I'd say down the pit straight.
They've got to be very close going into 10 though. It's got to be very cooperative, isn't it? It's not the most easiest corner. And they've kind of really got to work together, the defender and the attacker, almost, as we took football halfway through a racing. But do you get what I mean? They've got to kind of work, be cooperative with each other, haven't they?
Yeah, I'd say so. It's we got 20, more than 20 cars. I think it's about 23 in the end. 20 so far with the time.
Yeah, 23 cars,
yeah, I wonder how fast they spread out. I wonder how big a slipstream is in the GT cars, and I wonder how close they can run. That's what matters at the end. The top 2 look pretty close. Top 4, 5, 6, they all look, even the midfield look incredibly close again. So we'll see. I think we will have some battles as Justin goes P4, so it's got even closer now at the top, in the top 5 there, top 6 within the 7/10.
He was unlucky last week, wasn't he, Justin? He kind of got, I'm not going to say stuck, because that's not really the right word, that detriments to the drivers in front, but he got into that group at the beginning, and we thought he was going to make waves after that, because he visually looked quicker, but he kind of just, almost, as I think we described it, it almost looked like he was fuel saving or settling in for the positions, waiting for the pit stops to come around, because I think he probably could have been higher up if he was a little bit more, I want to say aggressive, but that's not probably the right word, but a little bit more forceful, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree. He visibly looked quicker. He definitely was quicker, I'd say. He did make up places. He did basically pass everyone in the pack he wanted to, but he did use the full hour to the extent to do it. And I reckon he could have maybe been he would have definitely been a place higher up, I think, if he was a bit more daring into the brakes in turn 1, I'd say.
Yeah, but as we say all the time, it's easy for us, you know what I mean? We're sat in the booth talking about these guys going around the circuit. I suppose in a way, when you're in the car, you're thinking about everything. Surviving is a big one, I think, just to make sure you keep it on track, and throttle inputs, brake inputs and everything else. And yeah, I think it was hard because he was so involved in such close racing. As we see, actually, Basanti has just popped a time and just gone 6th. Well, he's gone down to 7th now at 1:44.02. So Basanti has finally got a time on the board. Great job, Lorenzo Basanti, coming in with 12 minutes remaining. But I think he definitely could have been higher up. But he was kind of in that sort of that pack, wasn't it? And he passed everybody that he needed to. But I think hopefully if he goes away and looks back at last week's broadcast and thinks, actually, do you know what? I do need to be a little bit more aggressive. I think we could see, a move out of Classens. He's currently sitting in 5th at the moment on the grid in qualifying, sorry. So maybe we might see a different kind of Justin Classens that we saw last week.
Yeah, only he will know what how he felt on the brakes. Maybe he just didn't feel comfortable into turn 1 at Suzuka on the brakes. It goes slightly kink right. Maybe here the track's braking zones a lot more straight. Maybe he might be more daring. Maybe he wasn't comfortable with how the car was set up. Try and make a move. Yeah, with Zuka there wasn't really much passing if you weren't passing in turn 1. So, and if the car wasn't in front wasn't making a mistake. So maybe here he might be a bit more daring. It might just all have been, you know, how you feel. That's how the driver feels on the brake pedal. He might not have been 100% comfortable with how his car was going to stop if he did try a late braking move.
Yeah, we are a little bit more open in Catalonia, so it might be interesting to see whether or not Claessens really gets a move and gets the almost the saying would be getting the ball by the horns and trying to run with it as much as possible. It would be interesting to see what can happen there. Volcano's on a 143.26, has improved from last time out. Sainton currently on a 143.38. Marcus Schulman on a 143.67. Izzo still down. He's up in 4th now. 143.70. Claessens down in 5th on a 143.86. Fonseca is there, rounds out your top 6 on a 143.92. So there we go. We've got just under 10 minutes remaining.
Big slide there for Thomas. Got to back out of his lap. Massive slide in the Porsche there.
It's not unusual though, is it, in the Porsche?
No, that's why I can't get along with it.
No, I've driven it a few times and I don't do too bad, but I do a lot better in the Ferrari. I don't know. Oh, as we see,
sliding Ferrari there.
Yeah. Okay, at that moment in time, I say I do better in the Ferrari. The Ferrari goes round into turn 1 and on the exits, on the entrance 2, and decides to spin it. Ferrari, you did me no favours there, mate. Thank you very much for that. See, Austin William Campbell in the Ford. Not many Ford drivers around, Wes. Is it?
No. No. I think he is the 3rd one I've seen this season. Only one here today, though.
Yeah, I think we had Joe Lamos, wasn't it, last week, I believe, was it the Ford as well. But we've got Austin William Campbell this week. Now, I do know Austin from other series, and he does drive the Ford all the time. So it'd be interesting to see. Currently sitting down in 14th on a 144.74. So not massively off the pace, but yeah, he's going to have to get a little bit of a hurry on, I think, to see whether or not he can stay with these top cars. 6.5 minutes. Do you think we're going to see much change? It seems like they kind of.
Well, there's one.
Yeah. God, at least he's done me a favour this time. He's got forward his old Bazantes. He's just put it on 3rd place on a 143.61. So whatever was happening at the beginning of qualifying with Lorenzo Bazanti seems to have been resolved. And he's currently put it in 3rd place on a 143.617. But it looks like he's doing the whole in and out, isn't he? He stopped just after the start-finish straight. And start-finish line and went straight into the pits.
Do you think the whole team of was it Ferrari Simtech Sport or something? Have it written down. Yeah, Ferrari Simtech racing team. They also, here we go. We watch as time improves at the top. He's now going to pull over and go into the pits and do it again. So I do think it's a team tactic there. They do a lap and then they go in no matter what the lap was. They try again.
Yeah, that's Volcano improved his time, but 143.177. So there we go. But this man, a current championship leader, Izzo, in 5th place on a 143.70. Hasn't got to do too much to gain a few positions, but it's easier said than done, isn't it? That few temps is not easy to find. If
my timing screen is telling me he's absolutely flying. We'll see when he crosses the line. Telling me he's flying. Let's see.
Oh, he pops it on pole. 142.89. Izzo there pops it on pole position. Well, there you go. Absolutely incredible for Alexandra Izzo. Wow. Izzo's on pole.
Izzo's on pole.
For
yeah.
now.
For now, it does seem like people keep improving. The track might be getting a little bit better. There's something wrong there, but it's all good. A few people now are going purple and improving on their personal best. We'll see if Elias goes any quicker. It said he was. Crosses the line.
Yeah, it goes up, moves up a place from 9th to 8th with a 144.26. So he's gone up again. So there you go. It's going to be a very interesting 5 minutes, what these guys are choosing to do, and see how they approach the last 5 minutes of qualifying now, Wes.
Yeah, last 5 minutes, seen a few leave the pits, a few going straight to the pits. Most cars, I'd say, are out on track at the moment, so that's where you want to be.
See, now I would run down, if the times are sitting at about 1:42, I would look at, theoretically, I could do at least 2 or 3 laps. So I'd probably run with at least 4 or 5 laps of fuel, just for these last 5 minutes, to give it that sort of like that confidence that I'm, you know, what I'm doing, I can improve. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I'd go set it up so I can go for 2 runs, two just straight after the other 2 quick runs. So about all I need is about 3 laps, or just above 3, maybe a bit of, maybe even under if you can try and fuel save on your out lap. Time it right.
Yeah. I kind of never really do that. I kind of more of a go full bore, hammer to tongue kind of individual. But, you know, that's just me. Everybody is different, as we say. As we see Paul Taylor down in 11th place, currently on a 1:44.4. Now, I see Santos has gone off track. Strom has been off as well. So that would be interesting there to see what Thomas Santon has been up to. And he currently on last lap was a 1:45.92. So here we go. Is this all?
Oh, he's just
no,
just a little slide and pulls over.
Yeah, kind of just pulls over. That's enough. There you go, guys. So
time's on his not get on his favour, is it? So he's gonna want to go back into pits and go again with some fresh tyres.
Yeah, we broke into the 42s with Izzo. He's purple again in sector 3. So again, he is flying. Oh, Austin William Campbell, talk about flyers. Jumps up the starting grid there. Pops it in 11th place on a 1:44.36. Wow, that was a massive improvement there. Seems like, as you say, the track's evolving a little bit towards the end of qualifying, where more people are improving on their times. Be interesting to see if Volcano and Bazanti can improve.
He's going to get one more run, Volcano.
Be interesting to see what they do, but Izzo again is still out on track. Currently heading round into turn 4, right-hander. Not really a difficult corner, but can be if you enter too fast. You end up running wide onto this gravel, and with its sharp burst down into 5. The hairpin on the left. If you're not set up on the entrance, you definitely won't be set up properly on the exit either, and can jeopardize your exit out of 10 for that run down into the chicane.
Oh, that's not the best.
Izzo's bounces it over the curbs. Not ideal there, but he's showing his purple sector 1. Be interesting what he can do.
Says he's still up for now.
Oh.
On yellow there.
In sector 2, 38.95. What is he going to do? This is heading round turn 12, down into 13. Right-hander, and then come down into 11. Putting the car almost back on yourself to the exit out of 15, and then that run down the last corner. Round 16, hard on the throttle we go. Trying to not take too much wide there. And let's see what Izzo does. It's gone purple again, 1:42.89.
He went 1,000th of a second quicker than his previous time.
Well, there you go.
Is he going again, I reckon? Oh, he's attacking.
He's looking at it, but he's attacking. Oh. Surely he's not going to be able to get round and go again.
That's gone. That's...
Yep.
Yeah, the rear's gone, and he knows it.
Yeah. Oh, unfortunately there, Izzo looked like he was going to be on the attack again. But there you go. We've got Thomas Sainton on a 1:45.92 was his last lap. Best lap was 1:43.38.
Oh, he's in the pits.
Into the pits. We're just coming to the end of qualifying with about 30 seconds remaining. I expect most of these to be jumping in on board. Classens there, currently on a 1:43.86 down in 6th place. Let's see what he can do. He's gone into the pits as well. Now, we had this last week, didn't we? I think through the Suzuka. I think literally at one point we just called the whole field went into the pits
Yes.
in the space. Well, not even the space of a lap, was it? Half a lap. By the time the leader went in, everybody was just following in one after the other.
Oh,
We were
that's
just
going round.
Massimo Berda. Unfortunately for him, has gone round, and that's put the end to his qualifying as we've come to the end of qualifying. Anyway, now we were discussing fuel strategies in that last race, whether or not they're going to follow, whether or not they're going to go, going to go in, and everybody just kind of went in. It kind of just threw our strategies out the window in last week. There was.
Yeah, everyone just followed each other in. I kind of worked, I guess, out. Maybe it was because it's such a long circuit. Everyone decided that that was the way to approach it. Maybe we're improving here now. Yeah, I'm intrigued. I do feel like the Porsche seems to normally go a lap longer, so see if that happens today. But yeah, it's very tight field looking at it. Very, very tight. It's not too long of a circuit. So I could see them doing, you know, people trying to get an extra lap on each other here.
Yeah. Have to see if they're just going to go and all dive in together there. Elias Stromer is currently coming down into 14 and 15. There he is. Take the right on that run down 16 now. Goes Elias Stromer heading across the line. What can he do? 1:44.94. So he improved on his last lap time, but didn't improve his position. So, yeah, there you go. Fortunately for him, no improvement there, Wes.
No improvement. For anybody right at the end there, I thought there would be a few, but no, it sort of stayed how it was. And we have 21 drivers with a lap. 2 decided not to.
Yep. But here we go. Let's bring you up the grid. In first place is Alessandro Izzo on a 1:42.887. Volcano there in second place, as I see the grid go whizzing off.
It wouldn't know why it won't turn up.
Yeah, Bazanti there in third. Sainton in fourth. Schubman down in fifth. Klassen in sixth. Fonseca in seventh. Elias Stromer eighth. Berta in ninth. Ferrone in 10th. Austin Winning Campbell in 11th. Paul Taylor in 12th. Platil in 13th. Jorge Gomez in 14th. Galoni in 15th. Pinto 16th. Pereira 17th. Amaro in 18th place. Now, as we come to the bottom of page 1, just wait for it to start moving up. There's Marin Grigic down in 19th. Eduardo Fava down in 20th. And Duncan Kopp down in 21st place there. So here we go. That's going to be absolutely epic. Now, we have got a 10-minute warm-up now, Wes, in between the qualifying and the gridding for the race. You know, what would you do during these 10 minutes, dude? Like, I'm not a warm-up kind of person. I would just kind of, I don't know, go and get a drink, chill out. Are you another man that needs to get back out on track?
I'd go back out, yeah.
You would?
I'd go straight back out and just run laps.
Yeah.
It'll be literally, I wouldn't change anything to the setup. It's just a mental thing of, am I happy with this? This is what I've got. You know, is this going to work for me? That's all I'd be doing. Just going again and again, nailing every corner, just seeing how it feels. Probably putting, you know, the fuel on, because a minute ago in qualifying I wouldn't have the full fuel. So now I'd be out there in the fuel, just getting a feel for the braking zones now.
Yeah. While you're doing that, mate, I'd be off in the kitchen making a cup of tea.
Yeah. I'd probably also jump to the toilet. I'm not sure which one I do first. And normally I think I do that one last because I forget until it comes to gridding. And it's like, oh. That's...
Yeah, that's never good in an hour's race, is it, to the loo halfway through? Touch wood. I'm not going to say Wes. I'm going to say touch wood, Wes. At the moment, I've not had that happen to me. So, you know, I do survive an hour, even in my old man. Even in my old man status now, I do manage to survive an hour without needing to go to the toilet. So that's always good. But, yeah, I do try and get that done before I start there. So here we go. Sainton's out on track, Father's out on track, Cop's out on track, Shum is out on track, Bazanti, Platil, Gomez, Pinto, Berta, Ferroni, Grigic, and Izzo all out on circuit at the moment for this 7 minutes of warm-up remaining. Wow, there you go, Wes. So that's the grid sorted out. We're in the warm-up section, and then we're going to go full bore for this hour's racing. And as we say, guys, don't forget to tune in on Tuesdays for F3s and F4s. And also, guys, if you are here for the first time, please hit the subscribe button, click that thumbs up, and turn on them bells for notifications to be notified first when Anti-Stall Racing go live with the leagues that they're bringing you this season. So don't forget to do that. It's most important. Most important there. Oh, Wes, well, you know, we have to see if we can get the action that we had last week without so much of the non-dramatic ending. Hopefully, you know, we won't get any drive-throughs this week for Izzo. And maybe there might be some challenges from Bazanti there as well this week.
Yeah, see if we don't get robbed this time in Catalunya. We wouldn't want the same thing happened in Suzuka. So we'll look at 3 BMWs lining astern here in warm-up. Yeah, I think looking at the grid, looking how these races have gone so far, we will have close racing. I definitely do believe we'll have a fight for win, but whether or not it will continue for the full hour will all be down to incidents and traffic. I think as much as I don't think about it too much, but there has been traffic, and so far both race 1 and 2 has had traffic for either second place both times. I believe it was both of the times in this after the second pit stop, when second place comes out the pits, they've had a crash with a back marker. So or not even both cases actually. The first case, I don't think it was a back marker. I think it was somebody else coming out the pits, different strategy called to them. So the P2 definitely has to be careful with traffic coming out the pit lane, is what we've noted from the first 2 rounds.
Yes, definitely was a big issue in Suzuka as well, coming out the pit straight. But then again, that exit in Suzuka was very tricky, wasn't it? It was kind of coming out straight into almost that end point of turn 1. And you can see here down the left-hand side of your screen, the exit is all the way down. So again, that's still not the most easiest pit lane to come out of. And, you know, touch wood, we don't have any dramas with, but just where the exit is could cause problems, especially with two pit stops.
Yeah, it feeds them directly into the inside of turn 1, where the other car is going to want to be, just like Suzuka. So yeah, hopefully it's not too much of an issue. We'll see when it comes to it, and if everybody stays on the sort of same strategy, then it won't be an issue. But when after the second pit stop, when traffic does start to become an issue, that's where drivers are going to have to be very wary and very cautious.
It's definitely going to be an interesting run throughout this race on how the pit stops are going to materialise. As we say, the exit being as tricky as it should be as well. The first lap, I find, is going to be an interesting one, especially on sort of the cold tyres, the full fuel. And if you haven't done runs in the full fuel, I guess you're probably using warm-up for that now. But it is a kind of a trickle, isn't it, in the first lap, where you're kind of surviving as best you can until your tyres can get up to speed.
Yeah, it's all about survival, isn't it? Make sure you don't hit anybody and keep it on the... Try not to lose as many places as you can. Try not to hit anyone and avoid anything that chaotic that happens in front of you. Is keep your head clean is what lap 1's about, and try not to let anyone pass you. But if you've got to be smart about it. If someone is going to be passed, you don't want to risk it. It's an hour race. You might, if someone's there and you're clearly going to put their nose in, you might as well just be cautious. You could get them back. If you qualified ahead of them, you should hopefully have the pace to repass them.
Well, see, that's the thing, isn't it? That's not something that people would generally learn by as such, because obviously, you know, we've both done officials. I'm sure we've both been in incidents where people have just decided that they wanted to send it from about 50 yards and stick their nose up the inside of race 1 and lap 1, and you turn in and you're not expecting them to be there, because I think that kind of mentality to what we see in the league. I think we touched on it briefly last week. I think, do you think like the mentality it comes across different in the league than it does kind of doing the general iRacing officials?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I do think that, weirdly enough, as much as I worry about my safety rating, I used to worry about it quite a lot compared to what I do now, but I used to always think about it. A lot of people don't seem to care about it at all. But when you join the league, I don't know, you almost have, even though iRacing, you should always think that everybody's there to race and race clean and have fun. But for some weird reason, in a league, you just know that everybody is there for the same reason as you, to have good, hard, close racing and not hit anyone. No one's there for the sake of hitting or having contact, especially now in this league where it's, you know, pay entry for this one. You're not going to go, no one here is going to go around wasting their money just to crash into other people. So you know everyone's there with the intention to be clean.
I think that's what makes the difference, and I think that's generally why, if I do racing, I might touch on the odd officials, but generally I would stick in to a league. I've not done so much. I've not done as much league racing as I would have liked over the last few months. But I think that, as you say, in a league, you know that you can go too wide up circuits like El Rouge and Radion in Spa. You know, you can go too wide heading up through the S's in Watkins Glen because you know the other guy has got the same respect for you as you've got for them.
Yeah, you know that they're not. They're going to try. Obviously, racing incidents happen, but that's racing. Everyone is going to try their hardest not to have a crash, and no one, because no one wants to crash. No one ever. I've never really had, luckily, many crashes in leagues. I've only ever had like a few where I've had to go almost to the stewards and explain myself, and it's like not a fun thing I like to do. I don't like to have to try and explain what I was doing and why I had contact with another car. I don't enjoy getting almost scrutinised by stewards, so no one here wants to have an incident where they have to sit there and explain themselves to a steward and why they feel that they were right or wrong.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest thing, is we're just coming to the end of the 10-minute warm-up. That is it. We should see cars start gridding up shortly, and then we will be underway in this hour race, which is going to be absolutely amazing. It is open now, so there we go. We're expecting the cars start jumping on to the grid, run down into turn one. Always a tricky one at Catalonia. You know, there's got to be a little bit of an extra care. We have got the pace car, so we're going to be all, you know, hopefully they're going to be warm up. They're lining up just up to, it's a bit of a bizarre place to line them up, actually. It's
the rallycross start of the race, isn't it? It's the rallycross section to the last part.
Yeah, down to the entrance of 10.
Yeah, it's half a lap worth of.
No, yeah, last third almost, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pace car before we go off there for the race itself. So let's see how they get on. Now, I don't think we're going to have any problems on a pace lap. I think it should be all clean and up and running. So you know what I mean? As you know,
car 21 hasn't taken the formation lap there, some P7.
Yeah, there's lots of Benny Phage there hasn't gone up. They've got lots of crash notifications coming through as well. Quite interesting to see.
Yeah, I've just had one there. It's interesting to see. Hopefully no one has actually
I don't
crashed.
think anybody has. I think that everybody's still moving. So I don't believe anybody has had an incident there. But at one point I had like 7 or 8 cars apparently have crashed. So fortunate enough, guys, we haven't got 7 or 8 cars crashing into each other. But we have got Izzo out in front, Volcano in second. I believe Izzo's already gone.
He's gone.
Izzo has made the jump now as they're heading down the start-finish straight. He's got the jump over Volcano coming into turn one. Bazanti has right up the back of Volcano there. Coming down into turn one. These guys are on the same team. We've got Senton out on the outside. Pushing up on Bazanti now as they go round the inside. Santon's going to have the inside for the exit. Here we go. Claessens is moving up as well. Oh, wow. Massive move there from Elias Stromer. Can he keep it on track? He can. Absolutely sent it right up the inside of Klassen's there, and he's now making moves onto the back of Byzanti. Everybody got away cleanly, Wes. No incidents. Oh, saying that. There you go, Austin William Campbell. Around he goes. I think that was involved with Paul Taylor. That'd be an interesting one to see there. Paul Taylor was at one point in the pink car. So here we go. It's Pletil. Oh no, it was Pletil sent Austin William Campbell round. And that unfortunately sent Paul Taylor. So William Campbell now down in 20th position. Already at the end of lap 1, but we have got an hour, guys, so there is still time for him to make up some moves in that Ford. We've got Byzanti, Klassen, Sean. Here we go again. Justin Klassen's in the mix there with Marcus Schum and Elias Stromer. I believe this is the same group, Wes, isn't it? If I remember from Suzuka, I believe this is the same people he was locked in with last time.
Yeah, it sounds about right, actually, thinking about it. It does seem like he's already in that group of cars where he did make up positions before. He made up a few. He's slightly higher up than he was last time round, so good start.
Let's see what Justin Klassens can do and whether or not he's going to be slightly more aggressive on the overtakes this week as they're coming down that run down. He looked like he picked that draft up from a long way back. Here we go, coming down into turn 1 we go. Oh, he's trying to go up the inside. Oh, takes a lot of the curb on the inside, but he gets the job done. However, Schum ended up getting in the way of Ferroni and Berda behind him, who both of them, I believe, had to hit the brakes. There's Massimo Berda. He's gotten Pletil tucked right up now. Pletil's trying to attack the outside, coming into 4. Goes in wide. That allows the open up the door of the Audi of Marco Galoni. If Marco Galoni can follow it through. Here we go now on that run through 6-7 and then down left-hander. Here we go now on the run down into 6. A brief little kink before we come into the chicane of 7 and 8. I thought Pletil there, mate, was going to open the door. He left the door open for Galoni. It's quite lucky Galoni didn't just kind of send it up there as they come round into 4.
Yeah, he's got a good run on him here. He's gone to the outside. Will he just fake to the inside? He does come over. The gap has been closed there. Back to the outside. He's going to try and go all the way around the outside there. He might get tapped on the BMW behind, but gets away with it. Close racing from the get-go. Right on his bumper there.
Yeah, Marco Galoni there has got Jorge Gomez. If it's not the problem is though, when you're on the attack like that, you're trying to make.
Oh, he's sideways. He's going to spin.
Oh, Galoni's gone round. Keep it off. Keep it off. Keep it off. Oh, he's going to come right in front of Paul Taylor. Oh, Taylor's got the job done there, and so did Duncan Cott there behind. And as they're recovering, Austin William Campbell after his spin with Pletil, going round turn 3. Now we'll go back up front. We were just talking about, I was just about to say, the issue with Galoni is when you're on the attack and you're trying to make moves in the unexpected positions, like around the outside of 10, you kind of leave yourself open to the door from the guy behind.
Yeah, he did. He was going to try and go for a move and then on 2 cars, and then another car come up behind him. He had to immediately go from the attack to the defensive for the entire lap.
But here we go. We've got Pereira now. Here's all over. Grigic coming round turn 4. Tucked up the right behind him in that BMW now. Looking for the run on the Porsche. Is he going to get it? Not going to get it down into 5, but he stays close enough. He could look up the run. Well, I don't even know if 7 and 8 and 9. It's not a position where you generally see people trying to send the cars up the inside, is it?
No, because of the nature of the next couple of corners, then people tend to just wait for the straight after here. They just don't attack into it, so no one actually expects it really at all. So it would be a good place to probably to launch a move because no one's really going to see it coming.
Yeah, but the problem with nobody seeing coming is that you can see that door wide open,
yes,
and all of a sudden you see it close.
Just closed in your face, fully closed.
Yes. And then before you know it, you're in the steward's office where's doing that one thing that you don't like doing.
Yes, explaining yourself.
Yeah. So there we go. Pereira does back a little bit away from Grigic. We've got interesting battles there. We've got 12 seconds separating the front. They're currently down into Grigic, down into 13th, but this is Pletil involved in a lap 1 incident with Austin William Campbell in turn 3. Did look like there was slight contact with Pletil as he's run down the straight. We've got 0.65. Marco Ferroni and Massimo Berda up in front of us. There you go. The guys from Farah Simtech Racing there they're locked in their battle as well. And I believe Marcus Schoem is on the same team. He is currently in front of them as well. Had a little bit of an incident, guys, with Schoem did. He kind of had to hit the brakes. That unfortunately backed up Ferroni and Berta from his team. So he's unfortunately put them guys in this battle with Platil. It's kind of not ideal where they want to be. Whereas is it they obviously weren't gonna make the move there, as we see. Oh, Pereira and Grigic have looked like they've had a coming together. It'd be interesting to see what that was the battle at the time. I believe that was down in 14th position. Here we go. We were on that, talking about that run. Oh, it's a full send.
Oh, he's yeah, he's
Oh, that collected the car behind as well. A little bit of a tap from 18. I believe that was Ivan Amaro.
Oh, and then another one. That's not.
That's the Ferrari, a cop, isn't it?
Yeah, it's cop. That's
not.
That's not good.
No, that's not good there. I believe the stewards may have a look at that one, Wes. What do you think?
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, the initial launch, I think, will definitely be looked at in the first place, because the gap was there. Then he sort of backed out almost, didn't he? And then sort of kept his nose in when you can see sort of by how the car was that he was backing out, but then he sort of didn't get the full of his car out. So yeah, it's very unfortunate that happened then. But then the incidents afterwards, with the other cars trying to get round him, they don't like that very much in the stewards room. They don't like stuff like that.
No.
So.
I think that's really needs to kind of, putting it bluntly, have a look at your relative before you back out on track. Incident between cars 9 and 535. A racing incident. So that was Platil and Austin William Campbell at turn 3, lap 1. Do you think this lap 1, why it's not been taken any further there was because they were kind of battling? Platil, should he have been that far in? We don't know. We weren't in the car.
Yeah, it's similar to the one we just saw actually, but yeah, he didn't. He wasn't. Maybe he was a little bit more alongside, and he almost didn't back out. But I don't know. Yeah, he was. He was more alongside though. It's maybe because it was lap 1 that and there was cars everywhere. That could be the reason for why it's.
But are we expecting? Should we then expect the same decision regarding the Grigic Pereira one? Obviously, the rejoin, we know it weren't good as we see Galoni whizzing around all over the back of Paul Taylor. Runs in deep into 10. I thought he was going to get it there on that back out, but he kind of just overshot the entry into 10, but that has brought him back under attack again. Do we think then Pereira and Grigic were going to kind of should get the same result?
You could argue that, but I feel like his
hold on
car...
a minute. Santi is coming up. I thought he was going to make the move over Santi. He did.
Paul Taylor's gone in the pit lane apparently already. Paul Taylor into the pits quite early on in this race. He does have damage on his car, so...
Yeah, look at the front left on there. It's touched right back. We see the wheel sticking, the tyres sticking out the side there. He has been a little bit in the wars. I wonder if that's because he got caught in that tail end of the Austin William Campbell incident, didn't he? Now, talking about Austin William Campbell, here he is. He's made back up to 16th after being all the way down the back of the field. Now, I know Austin from other series, and I know he's going to be trying to push as hard as he can in that Ford, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, you can see the damage on the diffuser there. Do you see that on the rear right of his car? It's bent.
Yeah, it's bent up. But
that's not going to help.
No, but as I say, I wouldn't be surprised if he's finishing further up later on with a little over 50 minutes remaining. The Pereira Grigic then, you're not sure which way that will go? Obviously, we've got live stewards. It's obviously propped up. So,
yeah, that one to me was... Well, if the first one's a racing incident, you have to somewhat argue that one is too. But I feel like they're different just through how the car, the lap, and almost the car positioning. His car ends up going slightly on the grass as well. He did sort of almost avoid it, and then obviously his rejoins weren't not the best. But yeah, interesting for that one.
Yeah, the rejoins will cause the problem here as we see Austin William Campbell fighting all over Galini. Oh, Galini bumps the curb there, round 15, coming down for that run down into 16. Trunkers, go Team Pit, welcome in. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Here we go, Campbell in the Ford, trying to keep on the pace of the Audi of Galini. Galini just seems to have got that little more, but it was picking up the slipstream from the BMW. That's Edward Farver on the BMW there, car number 5, the blue one in front. So that may have rescued Galini. Really, oh, Galini is looking aggressive. Farver just kind of gets out the way. Oh, can Campbell follow him through? He can't. But I don't think it's going to be long now between Farver and Campbell are going to be under attack. Basically, Farver's going to be under attack. He's lost one position already. And that Audi Galini looks well hooked up there, Wes, because he took that at a speed that you wouldn't normally expect.
Yeah, he's got that nicely. He tried a minute ago with a move down at the turn 10, but just misses brakes. He's happy with that car. He's happy with how it feels. He clearly feels comfortable under the brakes and to move it around. Clearly, the car must be stiff. He doesn't seem to be moving too much. So he's happy with how the feedback he's getting from the wheel.
Yeah, sorry, just a little bit of a, because I was expecting Farver there to be going, absolutely hitting the car, but Austin Campbell on the brake, on the lights there, trying to get Farver, trying to get him coming down into 10. That's Galini making a move on car number 18. That's Ivan Amaro. He runs wide. That allows Farver to try and come back up the inside, as does Austin William Campbell on the attack now. Round the outside of 12 they go on that run down into Thurber. You see the damage. I believe that was involved in the Pereira incident on Armando's car earlier. But then again, Campbell's car's not looking pretty in the Ford. If you look at the rear right-hand side, not only is the diffuser damaged, but the wheel arch is damaged as well. You can see it there on the right-hand side. Looks totally stripped off, to be fair there, Wes, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. That's got some damage on the rear right that they're going to want to fix in the pits. That's... Yeah, I think that BMW is struggling now after he was one of those that collected one of the cars.
Yeah, that was involved with Griga Pereira. I think as Pereira was coming back, I think he collected there Ivan Amaro. 10-second post-race penalty. Was that for Pereira?
R17, so it is...
Yeah, Pereira. He's got a 10-second penalty there for the, what we can only presume. I would have thought that wasn't for the incident. I would have thought that was more for the rejoins after there, Wes, I think, to be fair.
I think there's more, I think, to come for that one, from what I can tell.
No, I saw it flashed up on my screen and flashed away again. We've got Campbell still climbing all over the back of Farver. Izzo currently out in front, Bogano in second. You can see the times less than a second there. But we're following this battle with Austin William Campbell trying to get past Eduardo Farver. Oh, I thought he was going to make a lunge there into 10. He's almost pushing him along in that Ford. Trying to give Farver a shove as they're coming round 12 now. Right-hander, looping right-hander. It takes a little bit of a while to get the gas on. You've got to do it about now. And this is kind of where Campbell loses back a bit in this final third, Wes, and that's probably down to that damage he's got on the right rear.
Yeah, he's out there in the the tail end of the lap due to the damage, and things are changing up front. I think P3 just changed down the straight and in the braking, but I think Thomas got it back from Lorenzo, and now he's under pressure.
Yeah, Justin Klassen's in 5th there. There's some corrections in chat. It's Galoni, not Galini. Mirko, not Marco. I don't think I have said any of them. I believe we've got Marco Ferroni, and we've got Mirko, Mirko Galoni. Oh, that may be it, but here we go. We've got Justin Klassen. He's heading down into 7 now. He's up behind Bazanti. Bazanti's got Stefan in front of him, Volcano and Izzo as they're coming up that run now over to that 9. We're going to have this short burst straight down into the hairpin at 10. Klassen's up 1 from his grid position already into 5th place. Bazanti and St. Tom, we're looking like we're going to have a good, nice freeway scrap from these guys here in a Porsche, in a Ferrari. And we've got Justin Klassen in a Lamborghini. So all 3 manufacturers involved in this little bit of a freeway. The front two have kind of opened up about a 6-second gap over this pack. They're kind of on their bikes there. Oh, they really, and Izzo and Volcano, and we kind of aren't expecting anything different from them guys out front. Oh.
No, not anymore. That's what we expect.
Yeah, Basanti ran wide, went on the gravel. If Klassen's going to do it, I would suggest, oh, he's trying to take the outside line. That will give him the inside for the entry into two. If he can make this stick, Santon is probably sitting there. Not,
they touched doors.
Door rubbing there. Contact with Klassens and Basanti. And Klassens makes it through. That all kind of stemmed, though, Wes, from Basanti's last corner mistake, didn't it? Because putting him on the gravel slowed him down, and that allowed Klassens to get right up beside him.
Yeah, he's lost the place, and he's also got damage as Pearson comes back. That's unfortunate for him, but yeah, he's lost the place, got a little bit of damage there. He tried to do it, but Justin, as we said last time, about not getting the overtakes done, round the outside of turn one there.
Yeah, I think that outside of turn one, though, right, that gives you that gives you the inside for two, doesn't it? So you've got that second, it's almost like that second phase of the overtake. If you can keep it on track cleanly round round turn one, you've kind of got that run out of turn two to take the inside line. Yes, it may put you on the outside for free, but unless you're Justin Klassens and you get the job done like you did over Basanti there.
Good move there.
45, well, about 2 minutes under 45 minutes. So I could just actually say 43 minutes, really, because my maths isn't that bad. Remaining of this race, we are currently on lap 10. Izzo is out in front, Volcano in second. Then we've got this freeway battle. Sainton, Klassens and Basanti. And at the moment, Klassens has opened up the gap to about 0.77. But he is closing down on Basanti. He's now 0.3. You can see it on your left-hand side there. If it's orange, they are very close. And Klassens is very close. He weaves out, lets Santon know he is there. Santon doesn't get off put, though. He goes on the brakes, taking that inside line into one. Around two they go. And then we've got this looping long right-hander of three. Klassens look like he's on the ball this week, whereas he's looking like he's more aggressive. He's looking like he's got the bit between his teeth. He's riding that ball in the Lambo, and he's holding on and doing a stellar job so far, just as we've got about 42 minutes remaining.
Well, we did spend most of the week last week saying that he should have gone for more moves, so I think after listening to us tell him how to drive, he's probably fed up of hearing that he isn't going for moves. And
he's had enough. He's going to put on a show this week for us guys here in the booth. From Andy Still Racing, myself, and Wesley are both here commentating for you this evening. There we go. There is Klassens now. Still tucked up. He's currently in fourth place. They are losing time to the leaders. He's now out to 7 seconds. Volcano is about just under 8 tenths back from Izzo. Car 17 for unsafe rejoin. That's Pereira. That's a drive-through penalty for Pereira on his unsafe rejoin there as well. Now, we was kind of expecting some punishment for that one. Is it going to currently matter with Pereira? He's in the pits, and he's been in the pits for about 6 minutes. Do we think a more severe penalty might hinder him during this race, Wes, because he is in the pits?
Well, he had the 10 second, now he's got a drive through, so he's really got quite a race over, really, isn't it, for all of those penalties combined, as they now lap Duncan, which was the guy who sadly crashed into Pereira while he was trying to rejoin. So there's the guy whose race also got ruined in that, getting lapped now. So
yeah, so that's Duncan Cott, but currently down in 19th position. Been lapped there by these freeway battles. Thomas Sainton, Justin Klassens, and Lorenzo Basanti. As we see these guys still having this battle all the way around. There's a little bit of a battle going on with Berta and Plateau as well. They're very close together, 0.4 at the moment. They're currently just coming into the hairpin of 5. There you go. As by magic, Lorenzo, Michael Plateau and Massimo Berta, there you go, close together on that run down into 7 and 8. It'll be interesting to see what will happen now. Now, I reckon the toe has got to start picking up the toe about 8 it's got to be good. They're normally out about 8 tenths, aren't they? Whereas you can start really kind of making the toe work. Obviously, from 8 tenths, you're not going to get beside the car in front. It's more sort of 3 or 4 tenths. But if they can stay within that 8 tenths sort of window, they almost get towed along with the car in front. So it'll be interesting to see how this sort of battle materializes. We have got Elias Stromer behind this guy. There he is, there in the other Lambo. So
Nearly 5 of them here now in this little train almost.
yeah, because there is. That's the other car, isn't it? That's Schum from the other Faratech there as well. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's a difficult one for us up here, Wes, because normally you can see Senton is under so much pressure. And you're kind of sitting there saying, unfortunately, he's at the front of the train, which sometimes is easier to follow than be followed, because you're kind of putting all your pressure on yourself being at this front part of that train, aren't you?
Yeah, I'd much prefer to, well, I think follow than be followed. I think I'd definitely prefer to do the following.
Yeah. You know, you and me both on that one, mate. I would prefer to be sitting back. I think, to be honest, out of the three, I think I'd be happy where Byzanti is. Sitting in that third place, keeping with the front, the two, sitting in that third place of the pack, so sitting in 5th in general. But I think I'd probably be a little bit more happy out there from where Byzanti has. Just in another flash up, Grigic has had an incident here. Here we go, this is Massimo Grigic in the Porsche. Believe he's coming round, that's the end of the lap 12. Oh, that's going into 13 before he goes down into the chicane at 14 and 15. Grigic there having an off. Paul Taylor gets through on that one. But we go back to this battle, guys, of Classens. He seems to be our man at the moment this season. We've had 2 amazing races that we've stuck with Justin Classens because it has been so eventful. The leaders aren't really making any difference, guys. We're not ignoring the leaders. We can see they're 8 tenths, but it's been 8 tenths consistently. And when you can see from the lap times that they're both doing near enough the same lap time, it's a little bit hard to come away from this action where we see Classens right up the back of Senton now. Running down into turn 1, he faints again.
He's making him think, isn't he? He's happy. We saw last week he was happy to sit behind cars, so we know he's not really too scared of braking behind them. So he's happy to fill the mirrors of Thomas here for P3.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things we mentioned last week, was the fact that he was happy sitting in that position. And he looked comfortable, but I think from a piece's point of view and from our point of view, we're just wishing that he literally stuck a stamp on that Lambo and just sent it up the inside of literally the pack that he is stuck in, that he's in now. He seems a lot more aggressive this week, and I'm so pleased for Justin that he is aggressive. Now he's trying to keep up with Thomas Santon in third for this battle in first place, which is absolutely amazing to see. And I think it's going to be about coming up to 35 minutes, near enough remaining. So we are going to be entering into that pit stop window as well very shortly, I believe. Wouldn't be surprised that it was, you know, same as last week. I can't see it being any different unless somebody really kind of pulls something different out the bag. I think at the end of the day, I think everybody's going to be in one behind each other.
Yeah. Depends who's been saving. Maybe the ones at the back of this pack have been saving pretty well. That's a bit wide there from Byzanti, wasn't it?
Yeah, Byzanti
stuck on the sausage curb almost.
Yeah, that was Stromer. He's done it again, but then again, Stromer did the same thing. That's Schum. Schum's heading into the pits. He's the first one to blink out of the cars on track. So Marcus Schum, there you go, you hear the alarm that he's gone into the pits, which is great to hear. Stromer now, however, is closed right up the back of Byzanti, going down into turn 1. Byzanti in the orange, white and blue. Stromer in that looming Lambo in the black. Traveling down there with the red on it as well. Trying to close all over the back, filling the mirrors up of Byzanti in the Ferrari. It's quite an interesting field up front, because apart from Izzo and Sainton, the rest are all Ferraris and Lambos. Maybe this is a little bit more of a Ferrari Lambo track there, Wes, that we wasn't quite expecting before.
Yeah, Lambos haven't been up there too much, have they? I think this is the highest Elias might have been so far this season. So yeah, different tracks, different cars work better on different tracks. They seem to be running pretty well, pretty close together. So yeah, I wouldn't say there's many BMWs up there, is there either? So that's
No,
there isn't.
Gomez. There isn't. Gomez is down in 10th. Pinto in 11th in the Audi. Galoni in 11th, and Austin William Campbell.
Was
in
it
the
Schumer that pitted early last week as well? Was it him that pitted before everybody?
Yeah, Sean pitted early. That allowed him to come out. I believe Classens jumped him in the pits that time. No, didn't he come out about 2 seconds, I believe, in front of him. So there we go. Izzo's in. Volcano's in. Are we going to see Santon go in? Let's see if we can get that same kind of thing that we had last week of Santon. There they are. Oh, that is some speed. Taking it right up.
Yeah, that is fast into the...
Oh, look. There you go.
Oh, they're racing into it.
Pletil's going in to go past Pletil and Berta.
They are racing into the pit lane, side by side. That was...
Everybody else is in behind him. Gomez Pinto is in. Mirko Galoni is in. Is Austin William Campbell. He is in. So this is the same runs we had. Pick up the leaders. They're going to be coming to the end of the pit stop. Izzo's out on track. There's Volcano. They're not as close as we saw last week, but let's see what happens with Sainton. And there you go, Sainton's out. Classens is out. Not as close to Sainton, but Stromer and Schum.
They swapped. They swapped.
Stromer and Bizanti have swapped positions. So
they've all gone deep there.
Oh, Bizanti's come out. Schum's still in the same position. This undercut's not working for him, Wes. He didn't make it work last week, and it hasn't worked this week. He's come out in the same position he was in.
Yeah, there's only one person that's profited from pit stops there, and that's Elias. And yeah, the pitting one lap early doesn't have an effect. It was shocking that it's not having realistically any effect. The tyres, obviously, they seem to struggle turn one, but then when we're here, they all seem like they're all hot enough again to go.
Yeah, that's the thing. Paul Christian 2 weeks in a row has not unfortunately benefited from going on for the undercut. It didn't actually work for him there. See Massimo Berta to come out as a loser out of that pit. So that's allowed Paul Taylor to be in front of him at the moment. No gainers further down, really. Pinto and Galoni are still together. Campbell still at the back of that. Gomez still, well, Gomez has dropped too. He was down in 10th. He's now in 12th. I wonder if that was, did we see the early pit stop from Paul Taylor though? So really the undercut from Paul Taylor going in well early, because we questioned about the fact he was in early and he did have that damage.
Yeah, you're right. He was in for super early. So maybe, I wonder what's going on there. I wonder if he has to pit anytime soon, or can he stretch it that far, I wonder? But he would have done the calculations possibly. So I'm intrigued to see if he has to pit anytime soon, or he can go the next pit stop with everybody else.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he is on the undercut. I don't think he's going to be out of sync. But here we go. Bizanti trying to make the move on Stromer down into turn one. Bizanti there on the top left-hand side. Oh, Stromer. Oh, should you have sent it out further on that one? He didn't. And that allows Bizanti back through now to chase down Justin Classens there. Could Stromer have been a little bit more aggressive there and tried to cover off that outside?
Well, he did all of that to get past him, and now he's just on the pit stop, and now he's lost the place immediately. He couldn't really cover the inside, but yeah, was that always a battle he was going to lose, I wonder? Is he happy to follow? I'm not sure what's exactly happened there, but he's not he didn't pass him on track, so whether or not the reason he repassed, I wonder if Bizanti, it was the damage he had to fix that was the reason he lost out in the pits, maybe.
Yeah, we just have to see. This is the closest battles on track. We have got Berta and Gomez 0.4, 0.6 back. Ferroni and Pletil are also locked in their little battle. Stromer and Schum are in there as well. So there is the Bizanti and Stromer battle. Schum is right behind Stromer at the moment. There you go. That is the cars there. Poor old Stromer is kind of locked in the middle of these Farasimtech cars of Bizanti and Schum, both Ferraris, and these are the Lamborghini meat in the sandwich as we're heading round now, going down to lap 18. On the run down into turn 1, these guys locked very close together. Do you think that the fact that obviously Stromer is back behind Bazzanti, what has Stromer really got to lose now, bar follow Bazzanti? There doesn't seem to be a lot he's going to try and gain by pushing and pushing and pushing, but he has got to kind of stay close, hasn't he, Wiz, really?
Yeah, he's got to stay on him. He's got to stick within this group. You don't want to lose out, because if he goes too far back, he will lose another position to Marcus behind him. So he's really got to just stick with him here and use, if anything, use Lorenzo to stay in front of Marcus behind. He is in a realistically a sandwich here between the two teammates, so he's got to try and use them to his advantage. Otherwise, they will work as a team and he will lose out.
Do you think Bazzanti should be looking at trying to back Stromer into Shub then?
It wouldn't be a bad idea. It would not be a bad idea. If you got your teammate behind you, why not back the car up behind you? I'd much rather my teammate behind me than someone who isn't.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, and I think I would be looking at now, if they are in a channel together, I would be looking at getting there, telling Shum to be able to get Bazzanti to back Stromer into him. Because here we go, this is Berta on Paul Taylor, down into 10. Taylor on the right-hand side, on the left-hand side. Berta gets the job done as they're heading up round that looping right-hander of 12. Didn't look too much of a challenge, considering Taylor had the inside line there for 12.
No, yeah, you could see him in his mirror, and he saw that he was there, so he left them the room, and then maybe the superior grip from the pit stops. I wonder if that... They do... Well, I don't think they change tyres, do they? They only do add fuel, I think, so...
Paul Taylor is coming to the end now, mate, because he did pit on lap 5, where everybody else went in on lap 15, so he was 10 laps ahead.
He's now giving a flash, and he's going... Oh, he's not going for it. I thought he was. He looked like...
No, he backed right out. I was going to say, if he sent it from that far back, mate, he would have needed a plane ticket to get it in there. He was literally well far back. But unfortunately for Paul Taylor, he has got Gomez all climbing all over the back. Gomez on a 1:45.33 last lap out. Paul Taylor on a 1:46.33. So there's almost a second difference there between Gomez and Taylor. Taylor in the BMW, Gomez also in the BMW, and we've got Berta in front in the Ferrari. Now we've seen the Ferraris have been a little quick so far. We have got Porsche out in front. We've got Volcano now. Didn't benefit from that pit stop there, Wes. He's literally back out to 1.8 when he was under a second at one point. Izzo kind of got the jump on the pit stops. Yeah, he's got it covered at the moment on the first pit stops, which you one tick in the box there, but he's got him in a nice gap where he doesn't have to worry too much about him. It does seem it's a Porsche and Ferrari track with the Lamborghinis. The BMW that I said about taking earlier, struggling a bit with the first one being 11th, and they're having a nice battle for the honours of being the first Beamer. But yeah, he's got him pretty covered. They're matching each other in the lap times as well. They are very equal on pace. It's now just keeping it neat and tidy for the rest of the race. Yeah, Santon now has managed to open up a gap on Claessens of about 3 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's got a nice 3.5 gap. 3.5. How did he get that? I know he gained some from the pit stops, but I didn't think he gained that much advantage on him. Maybe Claessens is not comfortable in that car after the pit stops. Not sure why he would be, considering it's been exactly the same car. Galoni and Campbell now on this run down into turn 1. Campbell in the Ford there. Galoni's, look at Campbell on the brakes. Oh, right up the back of Galoni. There's something about the sound of that Ford, I don't know, that just sounds really nice. That and the Merc. I do love the Merc. I haven't got any Mercs here this evening though. But this is Campbell. I wonder, can we go to the back there? Just see if he's had his damage fixed. That was in the right hand rear. He has. So that would allow that Ford now to pick up the extra pace that he didn't have before. Yes, the whole right side and his diffuser is all back to normal there, Wes. So that's now allowing Austin Campbell to basically try and climb up all over the back of Galoni. As I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he finished further up in that Ford. to see Ivan Amaro has had a crash there. Here we go. He's in the BMW. It's running into turn 1, out the exit.
Oh, it's blown up.
2.
The engine blew up on him there.
That's a very bizarre one. Huh?
Interesting.
Hmm.
He's blown his engine there.
Yeah, not something we generally see. So that's new. So Campbell is all over the back of Galoni at the moment. Coming around turn 16 down onto the start-finish straight. Campbell in the Ford, the Galoni on the right-hand side. I'm not sure why Campbell's not jumping in the slipstream. I would have done that, but Galoni hugs that inside line. He's going to be offline into 2. He's going to come back across track now. There you go. Campbell didn't look like he was aggressing on that one. Oh, goes into deep in 1. That's going to allow Galoni to open up a little bit of a buffer over him. 0.8 now. Unfortunately, therefore, Campbell lost a little bit of time on that entrance and exit into turn 1 as we've got 35 minutes remaining there. Whereas Campbell kind of unsettled himself going into turn 1 there.
Yeah, he didn't want to play any of the games, did he? He didn't want to go to the inside of the track, wanted to stand his ground, and then he just sort of braked a little too late.
Yeah, Ferrone and Pleto locked in their battle in the Ferrari, in the Porsche. It's a battle for 8th and 9th on track. Pleto is only one of 3 Porsches in the top 10. The rest of the places are covered off by Ferraris and Lamborghinis. These guys heading round into 13 now before they come down into the tricky left-hander. That is 14 on the exit for 50. It looks very slow there, Wes. It looked like Pletil was like crawling around the exit of that 15 there. It looked very bizarre from that far up.
Yeah, it's very slow corner, isn't it? And a bit clumsy, especially in a big GT3 car. It's very... Just got to hit the apexes, and it's so tight and slow. And now Paul Taylor's gone into the pits for the 2nd time.
Yeah, that was what we was expecting. Is he going to make the end, though?
Duncan's in there too.
It's going to be very close to him making the end there with Paul Taylor.
Yeah, we are, what, we've got 45
20
fuel.
minutes, 40%. They did go, I suppose, out about 23, 24 minutes. I think we were talking about the pit stops. Duncan Copp's in, Ivan Amaro is in as well, but Ivan's been in for 3 minutes, so that's trying to, not sure why the engine blew.
Yeah, trying to repair that engine.
Yeah, good luck. You will be there for about, I don't know, some points, over 40, 45 minutes. So, yeah, I wonder if he's going to give, I don't think we're going to see Ivan Amaro for the rest of the evening. But, however, we are seeing the attacking Marcus Schum over Elias Stromer there, who's opened up. He's lost about 2 seconds, probably out on Bizanti. Kind of would have opened Bizanti, kind of back Stromer into Schum, didn't we? I think we were kind of hoping for the teammates to work together on that one.
Yeah, that's what we thought was going to happen, didn't we? We thought that he'd back him up, but he didn't. He hasn't really backed him up. Hasn't needed to. He's almost what's the gap now? He's pulled a decent sized gap out, hasn't he?
Yeah, Bizanti is now 3.24 seconds. That's back Stromer into Schum. But we'll just have to see how that one materializes. See the time going down. Schum is behind us. 3.8, 3.9, back out again. It looked like he got the brakes a lot earlier than Stromer did. And Stromer still looked like he took that better exit round 2. So there we go. That's Elias Stromer and Marcus Schum battling for 6th and 7th. There was 20 minutes remaining. Lap 23 is not really a tired track, is it? It's not a struggle track like Sebring or like we saw in Suzuka. As we were discussing earlier on, it's kind of very flowy. But do you still think with 20 minutes to go, there's a bit of tiredness kicking in now? You know, because an hour generally is a long time.
Yeah, especially on this circuit, because it's obviously we said about how it flows and it fits together, but because of that, you can get so stuck in your rhythm that an easy mistake will crop up, and then it can be raced over very quickly. there is easy places to make mistakes around this circuit, and especially with having to be patient and waiting. Like turns 1 and 2, nice, and then 3 and 4 they flow quite well, but they're quite long, so you have to wait and be patient. And when you get tired and you have to wait for it to flow, you just could easily make mistakes and just start becoming impatient, and that's where you end up having a mental fight with yourself not to try and overdrive the car.
I think that's going to be quite important as we enter this last phase of the race. We are should see another round of pit stops, guys, from these cars. We're expecting, I think last week was a very late one. I think it was about 10 minutes remaining, if not 12 minutes. I think we started seeing cars rushing in there. So we're coming in, we're about 19 minutes remaining odd days an hour. So it'll be interesting to see when they start diving in. See, Duncan Kopp has had an incident there, a notification. We'll see what happens to Duncan. He is unfortunately not had a good night. Was involved in an incident through no fault of Duncan's own on that one. That was an incident involving Hugo Miguel Pereira. Unsafe rejoin, and unfortunately, that Duncan Kopp. We have just seen Stromer go deep into 4. That's allowed Schum right up the back of him now. Almost pushing that Lambo round that hairpin as we're on this rundown in through 6. This little kink, not really a corner, more of a kink as we're heading up through 7 and 8. Love this corner. Take as much of the inside curve as you're allowed. Trying to get that car back on straight line again through the second part of 8. And near this fast run down into 9 as we watch Paul Taylor get the job done. Look like over Eduardo Fava there. That's Paul Taylor now. Down in 15th place. He's still running. Was involved in a first lap incident. Unfortunately ended up in a gravel in turn 3 because of I believe that was an incident with Platil and Campbell there. So here we go, about 18 minutes, and I believe I can't see the Stromer battle backing off for them 18 minutes. It kind of reminds me of Izzo and Awala last week, where unfortunately, as I say, we were robbed from that battle for the line. But if these guys can keep it close, I think Marcus is in a pretty good position. Now we'll start trying to really take that position away from Stromer. This is for 6th and 7th.
Yeah, it's good points. It's what you want. He'd won that 6th place over the 7th, so another pit stop to go. He's gonna hound him the rest of the race. He's watched his teammate pass him, so that's always good motivation to know that you can do it too if your teammate's done it.
Yeah, as we see, Pisanti got past him now. And is coming up, he's at 1.6, I believe, away from Claessens. So even Claessens has now dropped out to over 12 seconds. Here we go, Campbell is now following Galini. Goes to fake to the inside, hard on the brakes in that 4. They're coming up now through turn 1, through the exit of 2, now on the run out. There is the 11th place car, Marco Galoni is just, Marco Andre Pinto is just in front. Oh, that Ford naturally runs wide, and that's given Galoni a little bit of a breathing space from Campbell there. These guys have been close together as well, Wes, for the last sort of 3 or 4 laps. You know, what do we think then? Because Campbell's getting close, but can't get the job done. Is it a follow effect in that Ford, you think, or is it a power difference, a handling difference? You know, because it is a car that not everybody loves.
Yeah, I'm not sure what its strengths are really. It does seem to have more weaknesses than strengths, I have to say. And it is a car that people say you have to be one of those people that love the car to drive it. Otherwise, it's like you said with the track, a bit of Marmite. You know, it's one of those cars you really have to love it and stick to it if you want to be good in it. I think I'd take the Audi over it, I must admit.
Yeah, the Audi has been a car that I've been toying purchasing that don't have it, but I think at the moment I'm just too in love with the Ferrari. You see Campbell going very quick there, around 10, no, further on than that, 14 and 15, sorry. Trying to close that gap up to Galone. He's keeping pace with him. Here's where the time difference, you see the time on the left-hand side will come down, out at 6, 5 at the moment, 5 tenths. Closing. Don't think he's close enough this time. He's going to have to get that down, isn't he? Whereas he's got to be a little bit closer by the time they enter that straight. I probably would say about 3 tenths. That draw made him 3 tenths, but this is where he kind of drifts back out.
He needs it a better chicane massively. The understeer there on the car. He needs a better chicane, then he can have a chance in the slipstream down the straight. But yeah, he is just about staying close enough throughout the lap, but it's just a few of the corners where he understeers a bit and then he loses the time that he needs.
I think that's one of the big things in the Ford, and I'm sure if you probably asked Austin himself, he'd probably tell you that the understeer in the Ford is huge as well. But it does kind of have the power, doesn't it? It's got the grunt, but it hasn't got that kind of the handling to go with the grunt.
Yeah, I think it's the aero bits, isn't it? The little bits and bobs here that the Audis and the Lamborghinis and so on have, that the Ford is just a little bit older than the rest of them, have quite the same I wouldn't say engineering, technology maybe, savvy, as he has a big slide there.
Yeah, Campbell, they're definitely getting a slide on that. Is round 12 on
The understeer there, he's done it again where he's just almost runs out of grip right at the end of the lap. He's better there through that sector. I wonder how the chicane goes. He's going to pit, I think, now. Oh, it's gone. Something's gone wrong there for him.
Yeah, he's jumped straight into the pits. Bizarre. And straight out. That'd be an interesting one to find out about there. So, find out why he backed out of that. Let's see what we can do. See if I can get some information out of him why he quit out of the anti-stall race. Bear with me while I get hold of Austin Williams now and see what actually happened. But we do go back with the action with Schulmer and Stromer. These guys have been close together, and we are coming into that last 13-minute pit window to see how this all goes again for these guys. Schum, we expect is going to be the early pitter, isn't he? He pitted it early last time.
Yeah, Schum will pit earlier. He pitted a lap earlier than everybody else last time round.
Yeah, he pitted a lap earlier, so it'd be interesting to see.
Thomas has pitted. P3. He's gone early.
That's
just him?
Up into third. It looks like it is just him.
It is interesting that he's gone. That's different. I wonder. You do wonder about that one, pitting from third earlier than everyone else. Well, whatever fuel he realistically puts in, he should make it to the end nicely. So it's just different strategy undercut there. Because I do think like they've got definitely, if they had enough fuel to go 20 minutes plus into the race, they definitely have enough fuel for the last 12 when they pit. So he's putting, I don't know, that's why I think they go as long as they can in his second stint, so they have less fuel for the last sprint to the line. So I'm intrigued to see that he's pitted earlier than everyone else there.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what actually, how it comes out. He has pitted, as I said, nobody has followed it in. So it'd be interesting to see how that materializes. He's come back out in 10th, so he hasn't lost. Well, he's also been third, so he's relying on Berda, Ferroni, Pleto, Schum, Stromer, Bazanti, and Claessens. That's a big risk, wouldn't you say, with 10 coming into 10 minutes remaining?
Well, it's just interesting to why he would go different to everybody else, and when he already seemed like he was on the same strategy before. So different to see why he's done that now. Like the leader's still not pitted, so he's pitted 2 laps earlier than the leaders, when before he was on the same strategy as them. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, it was. I just heard back from Austin William Campbell, who has informed me that there wasn't any issues. He's just unfortunately had to leave for an appointment, so he's had to go. So there was no issues there. He thought it was going to end before he would finish. He thought he was going to be able to finish the race, but unfortunately he couldn't. So there isn't any issues with Austin William Campbell. He's just unfortunately had to leave for a prior appointment. So
yeah, 10 minutes out from the finish. That's unfortunate. He's probably been watching the clock tick down.
Yeah. As I say, I think, you know, we went for half an hour quality and we had that 10-minute warm-up, didn't we, in the middle, which kind of extends the time of the whole overview of the race, I suppose, as well. But we now does allow Galoni to push back up to the back of Marc-Andre Pinto without a big looming Ford in his mirrors. There we go.
Yeah.
I wonder what Galoni would be able to do. He was looking racy, didn't we? We saw him at the beginning, was looking very tidy.
The gap was about 2 seconds a couple of laps ago, so he's really closed this down.
Yeah, and he has really struggled to have that Ford behind him. I think that was the pressure that was put on him. I think he just unfortunately had to drive mega defensively. But you kind of do wonder where this pace was, because if he has this pace, he probably could have pulled away from the Ford. Maybe the Ford was quicker than me and you gave it credit for there, Wes.
Yeah, it definitely took his attention away from driving up to the back of the other Audi in the race, who will be the first of the 2 Audis. That's always a good... You always want to beat the other cars that are in the grid, don't you? Want to be the top in your class. He's already looking for a move there. I would wonder...
No, that's not going to work. Round 9. That was where we were talking about earlier, was that flash danger point.
Yes.
I think that was where Pereira had his one off there as well. But I think he's probably going to be a start-finish straight run there. It's got to be from Mirko Galoni, because he's just, unfortunately... Coming round 12, I can't see him making this move in his last quarter of this lap. I think this is going to be a start-finish straight run. He's looking a lot quicker there than Marc-Andre Pinto.
One of them, they're going to pit.
Oh, Pinto dives in. Galoni does not dive in. Schum's on his way out. So Schum was in the pits. I wonder where Schum and Galoni, can we go to them? Oh, okay, Galoni's a lot further back. I think I underestimated how long this start-finish straight actually was there, as I thought Schum and Galoni might have come closer together. They haven't. Galoni's in the background there. Stanton did gain that position though, whereas he has moved up ahead of Schum, so that's 1 place he's gained.
Yeah.
Do we think, he has come out into a little bit of clear traffic. 6, 7, and 8 are not far. I would expect him to take that position. Slightly worried about the Classens, though. Classens and Bazanti.
Well, here we go. Everyone's coming in then. This is it again.
Izzo's in. Volcano's in. All the while, we've got Sainton around. He's coming down into 10. 3rd and 4th.
Klassen, there he
is. Oh, I thought it was going round. Did you see it as well? I thought it was going round there. Bazanti was as well. Stromer, I expect to become racing past us on the right. No,
he's
Stromer's
on the left.
Stromer's on the left. So Izzo still comes out in front. Volcano in second. Stromer is there in 3rd place. Platil in 4th didn't pit. Ferrone hasn't pitted. Ferrone hasn't pitted either. So that's put Classens down. Santon jump spurter. I don't believe there is Santon there. I don't think he got Classens.
No, he's not.
Bazanti didn't, did he? So that didn't work out for Thomas Santon. He's got to be sitting in the car thinking, because he didn't get him on the undercut. That's dropped him. Where's this 3rd to 8th? 3rd to 8th in the space of that pit.
Yeah, well, I'd say it's a net 5th, but either or, he still lost 2 places from just pitting, 3 laps earlier? Why?
Yeah, he went in on lap 27. Everybody else is coming on 30. Stromer and Platil are still out on track, and that Stromer, Platil, and Ferrone are still out on track, and they pitted on lap 15. So it'd be interesting to see the last, 5.5 minutes. Unfortunately, I can't see Thomas Sainton gaining anything else from this. I don't think it's going to be an easy pass on Bazanti or Classens from in front of him. And I think he's going to end up where he is currently at the moment. I think that was a massive mistake from Thomas Sainton, jumping in 3 laps earlier to see if he can get the undercut, which we've said hasn't worked for the last 2 races. I don't know. That just seemed a very bizarre decision.
Yeah, he's now he's got, if he wants to pass them, he has to make the move on track, as we're going to watch them all file in now. 3rd, 4th, and 5th are all going to file into the pit lane. Like I said before, they're going to have less fuel as well than rest of the car, so they're not going to be in the pits that long, are they? So where is Thomas going to come out compared to them?
Thomas is down there. You go. So Thomas is down further down the field. You see fifth.
Got all of them, but he will come out fifth, and
Fifth.
but he was third, so he has lost out there. And actually, Ferrone's lost out a little bit here to. Chum's going past. Who's he gonna? Is he gonna get? Oh, this is close. He's got him.
Just gets Split coming down into turn one, but I think they were as they were when they went in. I believe Shum was in front of Split already.
Ferrone wasn't that far though. Ferrone's done an error there. He's
Ferrone is
still in.
in the pits. What have you done there, sir? Did you forget to turn something off, or you just under?
Yeah, he's
if
lost
he's
out
still
massively.
stopping, he's made some errors here, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still in, so that's something's gone wrong for him, sadly.
But Galoni's lost time on Pinto now from being right up the back of him. He's now drifted out to about 1 point something, 1.6, I believe he is. 1.4 seconds.
Yeah, and he was on his bumper, so the second round of pit stops has affected this quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, it seems very bizarre. Had Austin William Campbell right behind him, was defending like crazy. Goes all the way up to the back of Andre Pinto's bumper. And unless he's had an off, I didn't see anything having an off track. However, we have just seen that Thomas Sainton has had an off track, so that'd be interesting. He's dropped back out again, which is a very weird race from Mirko Galoni there. So there you go. See what happens as we're coming into the last 3 minutes of this race. The leader, Alexandre Izzo, is round out coming into turn 5. That is car number 17, I believe, in front of him. That's Jose Fonseca in front of him. I'm sure will adequately jump out of the way to allow Izzo through. He's got a 3.6 second gap over Volcano. Was down. The story of the race is these guys were close together. They went into the pits. Volcano come out behind Izzo about 0.8. It stayed with him. And then the gap has just slowly increased. And it's been out now at 3.4. And it's not got any closer. However, Marcus Schum and Thomas Sainton have got close together as they're coming down into 5. It'll be interesting to see. Sainton pitted 3 laps earlier. We've got about 2 laps remaining. I'm expecting we should have 1 more, and then we'll be on a white flag lap. As I'm just keeping an eye on the leader, he's just heading round 16 at the moment. So he will go around 16, so he will come across the line. So we will definitely get, oh, it's going to be a tight, I've got to be honest, a tight 1 more lap, I believe. Can't see Barney, the flag bearer, waving just yet. He is not. So it isn't on the white flag. Are we on? I don't think we are. No, he isn't waving. So we're good. We should be good for 1 more lap here. But here we go. Schum and Sainton for this last few lap battles. Coming round 13. Oh, Schum gets a lot better run there than Sainton did. We're going to have to see if we can keep a hold of it. Coming down the start, finish straight. Here we go. That is Cop in front of us, I believe, as well. Been unfortunately involved in some earlier incidents. Hasn't got the job done. It's going to be 1 more lap, Wes. You know, Schum's running out of time, isn't he?
Yeah, he's running out, definitely running low on the time. I don't know if he's going to get there. He's not close enough, I don't think, to be able to make a move. He's just sort of arrived here now, and I don't think he's got enough time to make a move for 6th there.
Yeah, I don't think it's looking like he is going to be able to get this job done, unfortunately. So it's going to be interesting. Thomas Sainton now in 6th. Stromer jumped him in the pit. Stromer went in at 31 and come back out in front of Thomas Sainton. So that undercut didn't work, considering he pitted from 3rd.
I don't see the white flag, but the time is about to run out, so I do believe this will be the final lap of the race. It is.
It is the final race, the lap of the race. I didn't see the white flag. Alexandre Izzo, first place there. takes the win from Gaetano Volcano in second place. Volcano's crossed the line already. Klassen's there coming round the last corner. In third, a lot better drive from this week. From him this week, I think he will go home a lot happier than last week. Lorenzo Bazzanti is coming across the line in fourth place. There is Lorenzo. Elias Stromer now is coming around the last corner. He is in fifth. There is Stromer. Sainton and Schum will be coming the next across the line in sixth and seventh. There's Schum. There's Sainton. And here we go with Platil. He will be coming across the line. There you go, the blue car of Platil. Massimo Berta is on his way round 16 now. There you go. Massimo Berta gets the 9th place. Jorge Gomez is in 10th in the BMW, leading BMW from this man, Paul Taylor. Excellent recovery from Taylor, really, considering the fact that he was caught up in a first lap incident on turn 3 that put him nearly enough down the field. Marco Andre Pinto leading Audi. He comes across the line in 12th place. Mirko Galoni, I hope I got that right, is there in 13th. Very weird drive from him this evening. Very strange. Marco Ferrone in 14th place. There you go. And then I believe that is the last of the finishers. Jose Fonseca down in 17th is just coming across the line. But Fava has finished. Kopp has finished. Fonseca has finished there as well. So unfortunate there. There you go. Well, it was another week done, and it was kind of an Izzo show. There you go. There is, oh, no, there we go. That was the qualifying results. There is Izzo finishing on first place. Gaetano Volcano in second. Klassen's in third. A lot better drive from Klassen's this week. A lot more aggressive and a lot more racy. Let's just put it this way. He stuck his car in positions that made him out places. Elias Stromer in fifth. Thomas Sainton in sixth. Marcus Schum in seventh. Michael Platil in eighth. Massimo Berda ninth. Jorge Gomez 10th. Paul Taylor recovered from the back of the field to make up into 11th. Marco Pinto in 12th. Mirko Galoni in 13th. Marco Ferrone in 14th. Eduardo Fava in 15th. Duncan Kopp in 16th. Jose Fonseca in 17th place. Austin William Campbell there down in 18th places. Down in 18th places. Let me get that right. Down in 18th place. Ivan Amaro down in 19th. Marin Grigic down in 20th place. There is the last, I believe, of the finishes. So there we go. That closes out tonight's racing. There you go. Are we going to see the championship standings?
Sadly, don't know if I don't know if it will. I don't think it will do the right points. Sadly, I don't think they'll work. I don't think it's set up correctly for that. I think it might add the F4 points, which won't be the correct one, sadly.
No, we don't want the F4 points, guys. So there we go. We will have the results and the standings will be posted on the Anti-Stall Racing website, guys. Okay, so www.antistallracing.com. As you can see down in the description. Nice broadcast, guys. Some interesting strats throughout that race. Yes, there was. Quite some different theories we were a little bit, confused about, but we got on board and got on top of it towards the end there. As you see in the description of this video as well, guys, of this broadcast, there is the Discord link to Anti-Stall Racing. You can hit and follow that. Don't forget, if you are watching it back or have watched it live, please hit that thumbs up. That will be absolutely amazing. Don't forget to hit that subscribe, for Anti-Stall Racing on YouTube. And please turn on them bells for notifications. Say F3, F4 coming up Monday, on Tuesday, F1, W12 Monday. You've got to turn on the bells, otherwise you're going to miss all the action. There you go. So me and Wes, we will be here next week, young sir. I believe together we are back next week.
Yeah, we should be.
We are in Spa next week. Next week will be Spa, so that will be an interesting one. So really, guys, I've been James Parfitt, and I've been here with Wes all evening. So all that's really left for us to say, mate, is take care, good night, and you never know, we might just see you on the track sometime. Good night.